The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
And good morning. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO FM in Jesup, 105.5 on your FM dial. 4 minutes after 8 o'clock, it's now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Sachero's Restaurant on West Cherry Street in the Piggly Wiggly Shopping Center, by Nips Car Wash on Highway 301 South, just past McDonald's, there on the left-hand side. And also brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jesup. Now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Bob, who do we have as our guest this morning?
A special guest. Again, the qualifying just ended last week for the city of Jesup in the city voting elections, and one contested race in the city of Jesup as former commissioner who we have in the studio is Ricky Radish in District 1, going to run against the incumbent Shirley Armstrong. And Ricky, tell us why you decided to seek this position back.
Well, first of all, thank y'all for having me. I gave this thing a lot of thought, and I have several phone calls in reference of did I wanted to get back into the politics. So I kind of prayed on the thing a little bit, and by sitting out these 4 years, I learned a lot and I seen a lot. So I said, well, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and I know when you asked me earlier, I wasn't quite sure yet. I had to, like I said, had to pray on that thing, and then had some
county commission meeting. I said, Ricky, I hear you might be running. If you're ready to run, let us know. We'll have it on air. But you did bite.
But the reason why I'm running is, like I said, I these 4 years that I sat out, I saw a lot of stuff that I didn't see when I was in office that need a lot of attention. And one thing about the reason why I'm running is that we in dire need of town hall meetings. We just can't have one or two. We got to have one every 3 quarters so you can let the constituents know what's going on, whether they come or not, because the word in the Bible says 2 or 3 is together and agree and touching them, he'll be in the midst. But I'll be there if no one else will be there, because we need to inform them of what's going on, because it's a lot of activities going on right now in the city of Jesup, and we don't have a clue of what's happening because we don't get any feedback from that. But that's number one. Number two is that we started some project and we don't follow through with them anymore. Well, for instance, like we used to have a good connection with the county, Odom, and Scriven. And what I mean by that, we used to fellowship, used to have a dinner or so, and we would sit down and brainstorm, and some things may work for them that work for us, and we might be able to help one another. We got away from that, and we need to bring those type of things back, because we represent the city of Wayne County as a whole. So we that's one thing we need to bring back, and we need to be more inclined with our county commissioner. And not only that, I feel Scriven and Odom as well.
I still remember the big gathering they had down in Scriven, Georgia, where Mayor Weaver organized that, and everybody was there, and everybody sang Kumbaya. I'm talking about how great of an event it was, and we got to have one of these every quarter, and haven't had one since. That's been about 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. We start stuff and we don't continue, and we need to continue when we start something. We don't need to let that thing fall to the wayside, because that's how we make good communication with them as well as us. If we keep that thing going, we can learn from one another and help one another out. But like I said, we as a Wayne County as a whole, and me as running for District 1 again, is that, like I said, I saw a lot of things, dilapidated houses. We have a hard time with those things. Reason why I say that is that a lot of people that own property doesn't live in Wayne County. They live somewhere else, may live in New York, D.C., or whatever, and we have a time trying to track them down, but we can't just give up on those things. We need to continue to pursue them so that we can do something with these dilapidated houses that's not being tended to, and the property is not being tended to. So that's 2 things right there. Communication, town hall meeting, continue to work with the fellow county and city and Odom, And like I said, that it was a good thing. It was a good thing, and we enjoyed one another when we had those things. So we need to continue to do that. We don't need, like I said, don't need to just do it one time and stop.
And if you just joined us, Ricky Reddish in the studios with us, running for re-election for the city council. I keep saying re-election because you have the seat before. You were defeated 4 years ago by Shirley Armstrong. I got the totals the other day from Tammy Thornton. The probate judge was 104 to 57 was the results of the election 4 years ago. So you have a kind of a hurdle to overcome. Also tough to beat an incumbent. What do you think will be the difference this time around? And how many people in that district that are eligible to vote? Do you have any idea?
Well, I think it's close to 500, I believe, or a little bit more. But the thing is, Bob, that's something that we always had a problem with, is our constituents coming out to vote. And if my people that told me that they would vote, come out, and I had their support, if they would have ever come out, I would have done a whole lot better than what I did. I think I would have been either a runoff or maybe won. So this time I'm gonna approach that thing a little different. And what I mean by that, I'm gonna be able to install some more people to drive folks to and from the polls that don't have a transportation. That's something that was lacking in the last time that I ran. I didn't have anyone helping me out to take folks to and from the polls. So that's another thing that I need to work on, and that's what I'm looking at now. So that's going to be the big difference, is getting people to the poll and early voting. Early voting is what you need folks to do, so they don't have to stand in line when it's come time for regular voting in November. If they would just go out and vote in the early voting and get it out the way, you know. And that's what I'm hoping for this time. I'm hoping that transportation won't be an issue like it was last time. And that was one of the biggest things, because if you can't get to the poll, you can't vote. So that's the hurdle that I'm looking at now, is to jump over a little bit better than what I did before.
I'm curious, like I said, you had that become then you lost position. Some people that get out of politics, they're just happy to be out of politics, but apparently you missed being a city commissioner. You want to become a city commissioner again? Is that what you're doing?
Well, like I said, when I started out, the reason I ran, I'm seeking that's one thing about this position, is that I am the first that to come back and try to reclaim a seat. And the reason why, like I said, was those three things that I'm looking at, is that I had a lot of time to think and a lot of time to see the district as a whole, what was lacking, and the things that we was doing good together, and the things that we was doing bad, or really good or bad, that we need to continue to work on. So yeah, in a way I did miss it, but the goal is now is to try to get out there and get people to incline so they'll know what's going on in the community and the city. Because the district doesn't just expand for District 1, it does entail District 1/City of Jesup. So that's your job, as well. You're taking care of your district as well as the city, and bringing those two together so people will know what's going on in the community as well in the city. You have to bring those two things together so that they will know what's inclined, because the city has several retreat, and all those retreats, and I guess you can remember they had several. I think they just about had a retreat every year. It seemed like at first they started out with the county, and some of those things that was discussed, I know sometimes they're internal. You working on them still, but still, what came out of all of these retreats? I hadn't heard anything. You know, we hadn't heard anything about it, because we're not being told. And one thing about it, you're running for a position and not against the person. You're running for a position, and that's what some folks started to say, well, no, I'm running for a position that she holds, and that's it. And that's why I'm running again.
I'm curious, like I said, you've been outside 4 years watching, as you mentioned, the relationship between the city and county, not very good right now. What do you think is the issue between the city and from the outside looking in? I said, when you were there, it seemed like there was some harmony. Lately, it seems like it's oil and water. They don't seem to get along. They haven't met in quite some time. What do you think is the issue between the city and the county?
Well, I think what it is that we're not getting inclined like we were. One time we had a better relationship than we have right now. We had a good relationship, but like I said, that networking, coming together and having those dinners and sitting down, talking with one another, and letting each one of us know what's going on as a whole, because it's good to work with our county commissioner, because myself and Bobby was able to attain some money for paving from the county. You got to be able to go to those guys and get things from them, so because they are the more high echelon in the city, so they kind of got a whole pie in just slice. We just have a slice of the pie, but they have the whole pie. So it's good to know your county commissioner, be able to work with him, be able to talk with him, and communicate a little better than what we did. I know we started out great, and that's what I said. We're getting away from those things, and we need to bring them back. We need to start staying together, working together, and helping one another, whatever it may be.
Okay. Again, Ricky Reddish running for City Commissioner District 1 against incumbent Shirley Armstrong. Last day to register to vote October 7th. Early voting gets underway October 15th, runs to November 1st. Elections Tuesday, November 5th. So I'm sure we'll see you on the campaign trail. Wish you the best of luck, and I appreciate you coming in and letting people hear from you as you seek to reclaim your seat. How long did you have that seat? 2 terms?
I had it 5 terms.
5 terms.
So about almost 20 years.
20 years. Okay. And I said defeated 4 years ago and trying to reclaim that seat.
Right.
Still have good communication with the current commissioners. You know, most of the commissioners on the board now.
I hadn't talked with any of them since I declared my candidate for re-election for that seat. I hadn't talked with any of them yet, you know, to get their feedback on anything, because we just starting to get over the tragedy that just happened to with my nephew and everything. So I hadn't had a chance to do anything right now. We'll just qualify and get myself a spearhead to run for election.
Well, I know you had a lot to do with getting the road named after Bobby Townsend. You were there at the ceremony for that. They recognized you there, and that was a nice event. A lot of people showed up for that, so it was nice to see your former commissioner and someone that a lot of people speak highly of Bobby Townsend, have that road named after him.
And I appreciate the city council and the mayor and everyone that was involved in agreeing to allow me to do that, because like I had said in the interview earlier, Bobby done a lot for this community. Bobby won 13, 14 rec championship, and Bobby taught a lot of kids a lot of things. So why not recognize this man, you know? Sometimes, but it's best to try to give an individual his flowers while he lives. But if it's not, then we should still try to give him something to show that we appreciated it and that he was loved. And like I said, he was a great guy. He was a great guy.
Okay. Again, in the studio, Ricky Reddish, again, candidate for District 1, City Commissioner, running against incumbent Shirley Armstrong. And as we mentioned, we'll follow the campaign. It won't take place till November, but again, early voting gets underway October 15th. And again, if you want to be registered to vote in the election, which you have to be in order to vote, October 7th is the deadline. So, Ricky, wish you the best of luck.
Okay, I thank y'all, Butch and Bob, for having me this morning. I appreciate it. And I just want to say one thing before I leave. Please register to vote. If you need a ride, call me. I'm in the phone book. I'll pick you up and take you to the office, registration office, to get it registered to vote. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thanks for coming in, Ricky. All right, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. More of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show in a moment.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast. Hi, good morning. Some patchy fog early, but a mostly sunny day. North wind later 5 to 15, highs low 90s. Mostly clear 70 for tonight. Sunny low 90s tomorrow, low 70s tomorrow night. Friday, sunshine, low 90s. Saturday, partly sunny. 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, upper 80s. Sunday, mostly cloudy. 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, highs upper 80s. Georgia meteorologist John Weatherby in the GNN Weather Center.
105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. And Bob, you filed an opens record to get the information on the investigation, GBI investigation
once the file's
of the
closed,
county office?
Once the file's closed, you can get the file. So we want to know who the commissioner was that got the letter, what the allegations in the letter were. All that still needs to be determined. And it's all been hush-hush, all secretive. So we'd like to know, where all this investigation began.
So from what you're saying here is it was a county a commissioner that initiated this, or
Right.
was somebody contact him and then?
The way it began, someone in the county administrator's office wrote a letter to the commissioner.
Okay.
The commissioner took that letter to the DA's office. The DA's office then instructed GBI to conduct the investigation.
Okay.
And what the district attorney says is no illegal activity, no statute was violated. So therefore they closed the file. The letter's allegations could not be substantiated. But
Okay.
we talked to all commissioners, all claimed they knew nothing about the letter, knew nothing about the investigation, which can't be true because the DA's letter press release states emphatically that a commissioner is the one that brought it to their attention.
Mm-hmm.
So someone on the county commission board had the letter and took the letter to the DA's office. So,
Okay. Well, we'll find out. You said that she'll have that information available soon.
it should be either late this afternoon or tomorrow. So she talked to her yet, or she texted yesterday, said it'll be ready soon.
Will that open records information that you receive have a copy of the letter on what allegations that this
It'll have
person thought was
everything
being done?
It'll have it all.
Okay. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what comes out on that, because after the GBI investigation you mentioned, and the district attorney Jackie Johnson saying no illegal activity was found, it'll be interesting to see what allegations were made.
That's what people want to know.
Inquiry minds want to know, Bob.
That's what we're here for.
Well,
Get the information.
It's public. It's they all work for us. It's taxpayers' money. So
It's called transparency.
that's right. And so that's the county commissioners, any elected official, appointed official in local government, state government, federal government, they work for the public. It's taxpayers' money. And so I'm glad they do have an Opens Record Act here in the state of Georgia, where information can be given so the public can know what's going on with their government. And so we'll have that information to you tomorrow morning, right? Later this afternoon?
And I said, we're hoping to get the file either today or tomorrow. I said, we'll have a report by the end of the week.
By the end of the week, so because you got to do some investigating.
I got to read the file.
That's what I mean.
It's not going to take 5 minutes to read the file. It's going to be pretty lengthy.
Well, if it has anything to do with legal stuff, it's going to be.
It was a 3-week investigation, for
Yeah.
Pete's sake.
If it's got anything to do with legal stuff, it's going to be packed with paper there.
But
So
the main thing I want to know is which commissioner got the letter and what are the allegations in the letter.
Right.
I mean, I think people have a right to know what
They
the
do.
allegations
Yeah,
were.
they do. It's our government. It's the county government. So we'll see. And so the investigation still goes on in that murder situation there, where you had all those people arrested.
They're still looking for one suspect at the moment. But again, I talked to Nick Ellis yesterday. I'm still trying to get him to be a guest on the Butch and Bob Show. He deals with a lot of gang activity. There's a lot of gang activity in Wayne County going on. There's been a lot of murder trials in Wayne County recently. This is a gang-related shooting. Just want to make people aware what to look for. Some people may have a child in the gang, have no idea they're in the gang, don't know what to look for. But going to these trials the last several years and seeing all the devastation and the murders that have taken place, and this is a gang-related shooting took place a couple of weeks ago. Still no one charged with the murder, but 6 people arrested, looking for a 7th suspect. But again, Nick Ellis with the Jesup Police Department, also a Board of Education member, works closely and has testified in these trials on gangs. So just want to get him as a guest, but he said he couldn't do it today because of GBI. He's working with the police department today with more on this investigation. So there still could possibly be more arrests coming in this investigation. The key is who's going to be charged with the murder. So
Yeah, a
far,
lot of
no-
facts
no
to
one's-
work
no
out
one's
there,
been
you know?
charged with the murder. But it's all in retaliation of a burglary which took place, which involved a safe, which apparently had a ton of money. I understand they dove for the safe because the safe was ditched into a river or lake or wherever. But I know they've been diving looking for that safe. Not sure if they found the safe at this time, but again, just a lot going on in Wayne County. But again, last several years, there's been several murder trials in Wayne County, all gang related, with people coming to testify about this gang and that gang. And I think people have, trying to get Nick Ellis lined up to explain to people what all's taking place in this area as far as gang activity.
Yeah, the gangs are just not for the big cities or medium city-sized cities anymore. They're in small rural America right now, and it's spilled over into there, and we're seeing it here with murders, with drugs, with all kinds of stuff going on. It's just it's everywhere.
They have their own Bible, they have their own colors, they have their own creed. I mean, you can't cross from one gang to another. It's just, I said, it's been eye-opening the last several years in court, listening to all the testimony and seeing all that's taking place. But the sad thing is people are getting shot and killed, and there's been a lot of burglaries because it's all about getting money for drugs. And these people become desperate, and that's why they're breaking in people's houses and burglarizing, and all kinds of criminal activity comes with it. So I just want people to be aware of what's going on in Wayne County. And like I said, Nick Ellis has a lot of that information because, like I said, he's testified as a expert on gangs. He's gone to school and learned about it. And like I said, GBI agents have done the same thing. But listen to those guys explain to the jury what all is in a gang, what the symbols mean, what this means, what this tattoo means. I think people in Wayne County need as much information as possible.
Okay. All right. Look forward to having Nick on here, hopefully before long. Well, let's turn into football. A big game tomorrow night that Georgia Tech's going to be in. That will be aired on AM 1370 The Buzz, WLOP, Fox Sports Radio.
I think Tech fans are interested to see what the new offense looks like. Paul Johnson's no longer there. They got a guy that came from Temple that's pretty much a spread pro-style offense. So, but they've got a tough challenge against Trevor Lawrence and Clemson Tigers, ranked number 1 in Death Valley. As like I said, they'll raise the banner and have all the excitement about them being national champions. They're running into a buzzsaw in his first game, and odds makers don't give them much of a chance. I think it's a 33-point underdog last 33. I saw it. It keeps going up. It's not going down. It's going up. So.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and they're playing there at Death Valley, number 1 team in the nation. And you've got a new coach in, new offense, everything's new. It's gonna take a while to get on track. So I can see why it's still going up.
Like I said, they don't play it on paper. Like I said, it'll be interesting how Tech does. And no one's giving them a chance. Sometimes it's dangerous when seen it many times. You don't give a team a chance being overlooked. Mm-hmm. Be interesting how it all plays out. But we'll have that game tomorrow on AM 1370 on FM. We'll have the last preseason game. Jacksonville and Atlanta play each other tomorrow night down in Jacksonville. Looking forward to that.
You heading down that?
Yeah, headed down there for that game.
Falcons and Jags playing in Jacksonville tomorrow night.
The preseason. And then September 8th is the opening bell for the NFL. Jacksonville opens up at home against Kansas City, and the Falcons open up on the road at Minnesota. So it's here. College football season's here. Georgia Vandy Saturday, Georgia Southern LSU. We'll have that game for you on FM 105 Saturday night as the Eagles go out to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, take on the LSU Tigers.
That kickoff is at 7:30. Our coverage will begin at 5:30 Saturday afternoon right here on 105.5 FM, Georgia Southern LSU, here on the Big Dog. We were talking about Tech a little while ago, and for the past several years, we've been giving away a lot of tickets to every single home game to Georgia Tech. And their first game at home will be September 7th against Murray State Racers. And then, of course, they've got Arkansas State coming in. They got Notre Dame coming in.
That's Georgia.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Excuse me. They've got the USF Bulls coming in. They got the Citadel Bulldogs coming in, North Carolina, Pitt Panthers, Virginia Tech, NC State, and then the Georgia Bulldogs. And we'll have a bunch of tickets to give away to every single home game to Georgia Tech. So you can, if you're a Georgia Tech fan, or if you happen to be a fan of the other team, or if you just want to go see some college football absolutely free, we'll be giving away sets of 4 tickets, a lot of them, to every single home game all season long. So keep it tuned in here and for your chance to win.
I'm sure the Starling family hit up the Citadel game again. Starling at Citadel, and Citadel comes into Atlanta, so it'll be a fun game to watch. Hopefully get an update this week from Coach Cribb on how all these kids are doing. I said a lot of seniors graduated, a lot of seniors at colleges playing college football, so again, Starling, one of them, and signed that scholarship to play baseball, but he's up there.
He's up there at the Citadel. Yep. And as I just mentioned, they'll be playing, Georgia Tech will be playing Citadel on September 14th there in Atlanta at Bobby Dodd Stadium, and we'll have a bunch of tickets to give away to that game. So folks can go up there and see Tech and Citadel play on September 14th. And so just keep it tuned in for that. And coming up before long, we'll give away 4 more tickets to Wild Adventures for this upcoming weekend. This will be the last weekend. The Wild Adventures will have Splash Island open. And so I know that Jonathan gave away 2 sets of 4 tickets a little while ago, and I'll give away 1 set sometime right around 8:45 to 8:50 here on 105.5 FM. And just a quick thing here before we end. Did you see anything this past Friday night, Thursday night, Saturday night in high school football that kind of caught your interest?
I pretty much went unscripted. You know, I said I saw a good South Effingham football team over in Long County. Watch out for the Mustangs. We've got a new coach from Lee County, won state championships at Lee County, and he has those kids believing. They got an excellent quarterback. That's what I was impressed with. Their quarterback can move, can throw, throws darts. They got a talented running back signed with Vanderbilt. They got an offensive lineman signed with NC State. The All-State team has 2 members of the South Effingham team on it. Those are the 2, the kid on the line going to NC State and the running back going to Vanderbilt. So don't sleep on South Effingham in this region. Very good football team.
Okay. Well, Bob, have a good day. All right, you've been listening to the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jesup, right down from the Big Red Caboose, by Nips Car Wash, located on Highway 301 South, just past McDonald's on the left-hand side there, with that new laser-guided automatic car wash, along with 2 self-service bays.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.